Hey, hey. Welcome everybody to Miss Glow's Kitchen, where there's sugar, spice, and everything nice, where we slice, dice, and entice, using everything we can, from peppers to allspice. What's up, my people? Y'all know what time it is? See y'all in the kitchen.
I'm making clams today. That's what's on the menu. And it's way, way easier than you think. Now, let's jump right into it.
Alright, so before we start, and before I tell you the ingredients in this, I want to let you know that these are manila clams. So these are the small clams. I'm going to explain small, medium, and large later on in the video. But just for cooking purposes right now, I just want to let you know that these are what are called Littleneck clams. So they're the smaller ones. They're good for steaming. So they're good for cooking and eating at home, obviously. So, all right. So if you're going to pick up any clams and you're going to cook with me, then make sure that this is the size that you get. So I want to tell you right now what the ingredients are. But coming up, I'm going to actually show you what I'm using. All right. So make sure your clams are fresh. That you are not using those clams that they sell in the cans with the juice. Don't. Make sure you are using fresh clams and all of those ingredients that you see right there. All right. So now we're going to jump right over to it. And I'm going to actually show you what I am using. All right, here is what you need. I'm going to put it up on the screen, so in no particular order, I'm going to show each one of these ingredients. Alright, so this is the part now where we are going to inspect the clams. Now what you're looking for is look for anything that's misshapen. Alright, so if it's oddly shaped, it's cracked, it's chipped, it's open, we don't want them. Alright, so they have to nearly be perfect and perfectly closed like this one. Alright, so take a look at that one. It's not open, nothing sticking out. It's the perfect shape of a clam. How about that? Alright, that one's open a little bit. So see how it's open? You see a little bit of some goo sticking out. So we're going to do this multiple times. Alright, so I'm going to try to show you some of the odd ones. Some of the ones that are no good. That one. See? It's open. Alright, so we have a couple of them along the way where it's open, the clam is sticking out of it. You know, something like that. So you want to be sure you're looking. And these are gritty. So remember, they're coming out of sand, so these are quite gritty. So at this point, all we're doing is separating, nothing else. Just going to look at that. See? Now that part of that clam is sticking out. You don't want that. So that's mostly what I found. Open. Some of those sticking out. So I didn't have any that were oddly shaped. All right. So you're going to go through all of the rest of yours, and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so after that inspection, we want to fill a bowl, a bucket, something deep with water. So we want to fill it with water. What we're going to put in here is we're going to put non-iodized salt. So you can see that this salt says it does not supply iodine. So that's what we're looking for. You do not want to use iodine in it, because then your clams will be no good. It'll kill your clams. So you don't want to do that. Yes, they're alive in there. You don't want to kill your clams. Alright, so you're going to put like let's say for every gallon of water, you're going to put like a third cup of that salt in there. Alright, so we're going to soak these for 15 minutes. Now, after soaking for 15 minutes, we're going to put it in a strainer. We're going to run it under cold running water. When it's done running under that water, we're going to take a brush or something, if you have some kind of scrubber. I'm going to scrub the outside of these really good, and that's when we're going to pat them dry after that. So we're going to take each one of them. Of course, I'm using a paper towel. I'm going to pat them dry, and you're going to put them in the pan. So while we're patting these dry, take a look at them again. So you want to make sure there's nothing sticking out. So after coming out of that salt water, some of these clams are going to do that. So you're going to see like a little piece of it sticking out, or the shell that opened up a little bit. Those you want to throw away. So once again, while we're patting each one of these dry, we're also inspecting them once again. All right? Because you don't want to eat anything that's already cracked, already chipped, already misshapen, or already open, because the clam is no good on the inside of it. So you don't want to do that. All right. So we're going to move on to the next step from here, which is seasoning and adding the liquid. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so I'm going to put a half cup of white wine, half cup of water. So for each pound, that's what you're going to do. So I don't need that many. I don't have a lot of clams here. And then you're going to add your seasoning. So you can either add everything that I'm adding here, or you can add or take away something. So it just depends on what you like on your seafood. Because, yep, you could even use seafood seasoning on it. It'll work. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit of all of these seasonings in here. We're going to cover it. We're going to turn it on high heat. And that's when I'm going to come back. And so these take less than 5 minutes. So if you're cooking these Littleneck clams for more than 5 minutes, you're cooking them too long. They only supposed to boil like 2 to 3 minutes. And when the shell opens, they're done. So pretty much make sure that you cook with a glass top, or a top that you can see through. Definitely, you have to. Because otherwise you won't be able to tell when they open. Because as soon as they open, that means they're done. And you need to take them out. And so at this point, you're taking them out, but you'll inspect them. Any of them that did not open, throw them out. Now some people say that sometimes they clamp down so hard that if you take all of the ones that's open out, you can put the ones closed back in for 2 to 3 minutes to see if they open, and if they open, they're okay. But I decided not to do that. If they didn't open first go around, no, I don't want them. So now you just take them out. You'll arrange them in a bowl or on a platter, however you're going to do it. And then after you do that, you'll put some of the broth on it. Then you can put some parsley, some lemon on it, or whatever you decide to put on. Some butter especially, so make sure you melt some butter. Okay, so I had them in a bowl, and then I decided to put them on a platter instead. So I went with a longer platter. I just didn't want them in a bowl. And that's it. That's our masterpiece. Clams. Easier than you thought, right? Y'all better go make this. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time. For more great recipes, tips, and ideas, check out some of my other videos.